The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Every year we make resolutions to lose weight and get in shape. And the truth is, it's hard, even with diet and exercise, because of toxic food in our environment that is stressing our bodies more than ever before. Working with experts in nutrition and biochemistry, I found that super high-quality nutraceuticals, in addition to my diet and exercise, were the answers that synergistically worked. I can see the drastic changes every day with the amount of weight I've lost, my increased stamina, and more of a twinkle in my eye. That's why we are now so excited to launch the InfoWars Life Resolution Pack, combining 3 essential formulations: oxygen-based cleanser Oxy Powder, the Secret 12 bioavailable vitamin B12, and your choice of super female or super male vitality. Now all available at a discounted price to you and your family to bring in the new year and make 2015 a true success. That's InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139. 2015 is the year to do it, and it all starts at InfoWarsLife.com.
Another major health threat, this one in Toledo, Ohio, where everybody in the entire city has been told not to drink the water.
Ohio's governor declaring a state of emergency.
Did you know that the average person uses about 80 to 100 gallons of water at home every single day? If there's a water emergency, will you be prepared?
Panicked residents forming long lines throughout the day.
We're here at a supermarket in Toledo. You can see the shelves empty where water once was.
To stay safe and healthy during a crisis, you must have access to safe, clean water. Water which will not be available at your local grocery store.
There's a mad dash on right now to stock up on supplies.
The ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system is a must-have for every modern, independently minded household. Protect your family's safety during an emergency. Go to InfoWarsStore.com today to purchase your ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system or call 1-888-253-3139.
InfoWarsLife.com. Check it out today. I have set out to bring you the most hardcore, cutting-edge supplements and nutraceuticals, bar none. And that's what you'll find at InfoWarsLife.com. We have rejected literally hundreds of products from the InfoWars Life line because they are not of the very highest quality, or because they're not 100% organic, or because they don't pass all of the strictest toxicology tests there are that we have listed at InfoWarsLife.com. Whether it's Survival Shield Nascent Iodine or DNA Force, Super Male Vitality, Super Female Vitality, Lung Cleanse, Fluoride Shield, Oxy Powder. I believe that all of these products will blow you away like they've done the thousands of other customers that have visited InfoWarsLife.com and believed in us and tried the products. Folks, check out InfoWarsLife.com today and the entire line of groundbreaking, cutting-edge, hardcore products.
Take you live to the Central Texas Command Center in the heart of the resistance. It's Alex Jones.
I want to open the phones up specifically on the big cyber attacks, but on the economy, on any issue. But I'd like to get your take on the aftermath now of the Paris attacks. We now know it leads back to the same globalist-controlled Ammar al-Awlaki, who always basically handles the terrorists that attack, and these attacks never get foiled, even though there's a long trail of evidence and every reason to arrest these people prior to the attacks. It's being allowed to happen. Do you disagree with that? Do you agree with that statement? I don't know how you could disagree. And then how obvious are all these cyber attacks that they claim North Korea launched? I'm no fan of North Korea, but they can't even manufacture an automobile. Only 2 cities have electricity. They have primitive computers. North Korea is a joke. And then, of course, it turned out North Korea did not hack Sony. It was an inside job. Well, now, ISIS hack of Pentagon Twitter accounts traced back to Maryland. NSA implicated in latest cybersecurity scare. The article's by Paul Joseph Watson on Infowars.com. According to the group, which identifies itself as anonymous, the ISIS hack of the Pentagon Twitter accounts traced back to Maryland, home of the National Security Agency. Twitter and YouTube accounts belonging to the U.S. military command that oversees operations in the Middle East were reportedly hacked by ISIS sympathizers earlier today, with messages being sent out for almost an hour before the accounts were temporarily shut down. American soldiers, we are coming. Watch your back, ISIS, the hackers posted on the U.S. Central Command Twitter feed. And when that first went out yesterday, I saw it and read it and misinterpreted it as if CENTCOM was saying we're coming after you, so that's a correction. And that's the type of mistakes I make because there's no teleprompters here. I'm just going off stacks of news, and even though I'm accurate probably 95% of the time, I make mistakes like that, and I try to correct them. In fact, the crew corrected me during the last break. I had read these articles yesterday, and I was going off memory. There's a whole bunch of young women in Europe and other countries, the United States, UK, that are traveling and joining the jihad. And I had read these articles yesterday, and then it said Australia. Sometimes that word gets in my mind from Austria, the country bordering Germany that Hitler came from, and its capital is Vienna. I know all about it. I'll just make the most ridiculous mistakes sometimes, so that's a mistake I made. Not about the young women getting pregnant and going and joining them. Here's the headlines. Pregnant Austrian teens in ISIS. We've made a huge mistake. 2 Austrian teens got way more than they bargained for when they abandoned their homes and families to become poster girls for ISIS terrorists. That's like wanting to become poster girls for piranhas or something. It's just, and now they desperately want to come home. Samra Kizanovic, 17, and her friend, Selmovic, 15, would love to press the undo button on the last 6 months during which they traded their comfortable existence in Europe for a life of evil engineered by terrorists. And it goes on to show them in Syria from what they looked like before to in their jihadi garb, working with people that grab small young girls from the families in Syria and sell them into sex slavery. And have public auctions of them, which, of course, the feminists say zero about. Modern feminists just want to dominate women and tell them what to do and be their cultural bosses. And then have the women boss the men around. Well, all of you CIA Gloria Steinems that tell women not to have kids, but you got a bunch of kids, and you know, everything else, you can go straight to Hades. No one listens to you but idiots. Every metric, every poll shows that the vast majority of women do not identify themselves as feminist. You don't represent femininity. People don't have to go through you, the priest class of women, to find femininity and feminine power. You understand that? You lose, you fail. I don't care how much social engineering you engage in. I don't care about how much brainwashing you do to try to break up the family and screw up society. Folks now know what you've done to the world. They know how premeditatedly evil you are. And in places that are run by feminists and total liberals, this is what the young women revolt against and then go and join something that's the opposite but just as bad or worse. And I just cannot believe how in the major universities, the sexiest thing out there is radical Islam. And this is all being done to destabilize and screw up the country. You know, we raise our boys to not be men. And then women end up going for, quote, the bad boys, the convicts, the gangbangers, and end up totally unhappy and unfulfilled because good men won't act like men. Arrested Development, playing video games all day, the good boys are, while the bad boys are out there robbing liquor stores and getting your daughter on heroin and putting her on the street. Men need to start acting like men and stop being politically correct and start taking control of your families, or the state will. ISIS police quiz teenage girls who tried to flee Austria to become terror brides in Syria. So more are trying to make their way there to have the fun. Here's the toll-free number ahead of Ron Paul joining us, 800-259-9231, 1-800-259-9231. 9231. And we will get you up and on the air. Very interesting video. It's bleeped out. Moroccan-born mayor of Rotterdam in the Netherlands tells fellow Muslims who do not appreciate their freedoms of living in the West to pack your bags and get the F out of the country on live television. Let's cue that up. We've got it beeped. I really like that perspective. I mean, here's the deal. We can't go to Saudi Arabia and preach the gospel on the street or even hand out Bibles, or they will put you in prison for life or execute you. And you won't hear any civil rights movement decrying that. It's their culture, and if they want to kill you, it's fine. It's trendy. It's liberal. Free speech, though, is bad. If you say that men should be men and that if a woman wants to do that and have the man wear the pants, that's a good thing. Oh, that's evil, or all sex is rape between a man and a woman. That's just a bunch of feminists that want all the women for themselves. And if lesbian feminists like women, that's their prerogative. I'm a libertarian. But just you're not going to control them all and put them in a harem for yourself. I know you want to get them when they're 5 years old in school and train them up to be, you know, only like women, but I'm sorry, you're not going to get all of them. I mean, you just want to run pimp gang. Pimp game, ladies, I understand. The feminists are government pimps, and they're pimping. And they sit up there on TV and tell women how to run their lives, and some women step and fetch it. But so many women followed what the feminists said forever and were totally unhappy and unfulfilled. And now the big craze is women like to crawl around on their all fours with a chain around their neck being told what to do by men. I think that's bad. I don't like that. But that's what you people create. You got all these women begging to be dominated now all over the place, begging to go join jihad and live in a slave pit. Because women would rather go live in a slave pit with dirty jihadis than sit there and have a, I don't know what you call it, Janet Reno look-alike tell her how to live her life. Sorry, it's game over. I love it. Anyway, side issue. I mean, let's just get down to what this is really all about. Let's just get right down to it. The big battle comes down to who loves the women more. Truth is, you don't love the women, do you, Janet Reno? You just want to run their lives because you don't like real femininity. You don't like how beautiful they are. You don't want them to be free. You don't want them to have guns and be free and strong. You want to dominate them and control them and ruin them and make the state their dirty husband, don't you? Well, that's not going to work, scum, because people want to be free and they want to be empowered and they want to be natural. You have failed. And they failed all over the place. Everybody I talk to, I hear it on talk radio, no one is buying that these ISIS hacks are real. But they're still going to try to ram through all this censorship. Here's a Financial Times of London article. Russian and Turkish conspiracy theories swirl after Paris attacks. And major leaders in Russia and Turkey are saying that it's not Muslim extremists that did the shootings, but a French false flag. The culprits are clear. French citizens undertook this massacre, and Muslims were blamed for it. It goes on. Here's the problem. False flags do happen, and I'm the guy that popularized it. Let's just face it. It's well known. I got people to look into false flags, inside jobs, and all the different variants of that. That said, this worldwide jihad being funded by the West and Saudi Arabia is real. These guys were set up and protected, but nevertheless, they were real terrorists. From as best we can tell. So there's that story. I've got a bunch of economy news, science news, political news, Rand Paul news. We got Seahawks players shilling for Obamacare and new ads. The NFL is just such a joke. Lieberman turns outrage over Charlie Hebdo into worldwide war against Islam. Well, yeah, that's the plan, but I would ask these real conspiracy theorists saying that these radical Muslims didn't kill 20 people. Did they kill the 300,000+ people in Syria who weren't radical Muslims or Christians? Yes, they did. Did the Muslim Brotherhood crucify Christians and blow up hundreds of churches? Yes, they did. Did they attack non-radical Muslims and throw them off buildings on TV? Yes, they did. Stop acting like you can dictate reality like Obama does, saying you didn't build your business or 2 + 2 = 5.